Welcome to Heartofeconomy. Today, we are diving into one of the most shocking and overlooked realities in the crypto world. We all know Bitcoin's supply is capped at 21 million. But here is the shocking truth. Not all of that supply actually exists in circulation. Recent estimates suggest that up to 37% of all Bitcoin may be lost forever. Inaccessible, locked away, forgotten, or simply gone. What does that mean? It means millions of coins are permanently out of the market, and that creates a hidden supply shock with enormous implications for Bitcoin's value and its future. Let's explore this extraordinary story. One of Bitcoin's greatest strengths is its hard cap of 21 million coins. This makes it fundamentally different from fiat currencies, which central banks can print without limit. That's why Bitcoin is often called digital gold. But here is the twist. Not even all of those 21 million coins are available. Today, roughly 19.9 million have been mined. Yet, a significant portion of them has vanished forever. This makes Bitcoin not just scarce, but far scarcer than we ever imagined. As Satoshi Nakamoto himself wrote back in 2010, lost coins only make everyone else's coins worth slightly more. Think of it as a donation to everyone. In other words, these permanently lost coins turn Bitcoin into an even rarer and more valuable asset than gold itself. And in my view, this is one of the most underappreciated aspects of Bitcoin's design. Its scarcity isn't just fixed, it's intensifying over time. Behind these numbers are incredible and sometimes tragic real-world stories. Take James Howells, for example. In 2013, he accidentally threw away a hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin. Back then, it wasn't a fortune. Today, it would be worth billions of dollars. That hard drive is still buried in a landfill, but environmental laws prevent him from digging it up. The world's most expensive piece of garbage may never be recovered. Or Stephen Thomas, the former CTO of Ripple. He owns an IronKey drive holding 7,002 Bitcoin. The problem? He forgot the password. He has only 2 attempts left before the drive locks forever. Imagine holding hundreds of millions of dollars in your hand and not being able to touch it. And then, there is Bitcoin's mysterious creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Roughly 1 million Bitcoin mined in 2009 and 2010 remain untouched. Are they lost forever? Or intentionally left dormant as part of Bitcoin's mythos? Nobody knows. My take: these stories show just how unforgiving the world of crypto can be. In the traditional financial system, if you forget a password or lose your account, there are recovery processes. In Bitcoin, there are no second chances. Lose your keys, lose your coins. So how many Bitcoin are really lost? Different analysts give different answers. Ledger estimates between 2.3 and 3.7 million. Timothy Peterson of Can Island suggests the number could be between 6 and 7 million. Glassnode believes it could be as high as 7.8 million. And Fidelity Digital Assets says at least 3.3 million Bitcoin haven't moved in over 10 years and are likely gone. Why such a wide range? Because it's hard to separate coins that are truly lost from those simply being held long-term. But here is the key. Even the lowest estimate exceeds the combined Bitcoin holdings of ETFs and corporate treasuries. In other words, the silent disappearance of coins is actually a bigger factor than the most headline-grabbing institutional buys. That's something mainstream media rarely talks about. Here is where it gets even more interesting. Let's do the math. 19.9 million Bitcoin mined so far. Subtract 5 million lost coins. Subtract 2.2 million held by ETFs and corporations. Subtract 3.8 million held by long-term hodlers. What's left? Only 8.9 million Bitcoin actively circulating in the open market. That's just 42% of total supply. Compare that to stocks in the S&P 500, where free float is typically 70 to 90%. Bitcoin is operating on a much tighter leash, and in my view, this explains a lot about Bitcoin's extreme volatility. With so few coins actually available to trade, even small surges in demand can send the price skyrocketing. Bitcoin isn't just scarce, it's trading in a hyper-compressed market. On paper, Bitcoin's market cap today is about $2.1 trillion, but that circulation assumes all 19.9 million mined coins are available. In reality, if we exclude permanently lost coins, the true market cap is closer to $1.6 trillion. That's a $500 billion gap between the reported value and the real, tradable value. My perspective, this is one of the most overlooked facts in finance today. Everyone celebrates when Bitcoin hits $1 trillion market cap, but the truth is, a significant chunk of that value belongs to coins that will never move, never be sold, never be recovered. The illusion makes Bitcoin look larger than it really is. And when markets eventually recognize this, the narrative around its value could shift dramatically. So what does all this mean for the future? It means that Bitcoin's supply is shrinking at the same time institutional demand is rising. This is a textbook recipe for price shocks. Today, analysts are debating whether Bitcoin will stabilize at $100,000, but if the tradable supply is as small as 8.9 million coins, then the path to $1 million Bitcoin doesn't sound like science fiction anymore. Of course, this doesn't mean prices will rise in a straight line. Bitcoin remains volatile. We will see both crashes and surges. But here's my message to investors. The long-term scarcity story is real, and it's getting stronger every year. Bitcoin is no longer just digital gold. It is an asset scarcer than gold itself, with a supply curve that shrinks over time. That's the kind of narrative markets eventually can't ignore. To sum it all up, Bitcoin isn't just limited. It's far scarcer than most people realize. Between 2.3 and 7.8 million coins may be gone forever, making each remaining coin more valuable. This silent supply shock could fuel explosive moves in the years ahead. What do you think? Could more than 30% of Bitcoin really be lost forever? And if so, how high could scarcity push its price? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Here at Heart of Economy, we bring you the most eye-opening insights from the world of finance and economy. See you in the next time.